Today, I'm going to talk about one question that really makes people panic in their job interviews, and it's the dreaded question, drum roll please, what's your biggest weakness? According to a recent study, it's the second most frequently asked interview question. Here's how to be honest and memorable by answering this question. Hello friend, I am AshleyStahl, career expert, host of the U-Turn podcast, and author of the book also named U-Turn. And my purpose in the world is to help you create a career that really lights you up. For many people, this question really feels like a minefield where no matter what you say or where you step, you feel like it could blow up in your face at any time. After all, the honest answer might give the employer a really bad impression. But one thing's for sure. A job interview is one situation where honesty is always the best policy. In fact, recruiters can smell a lie from a mile away. 56% claim to have caught at least one lie in the middle of an interview process. And yet, like I've said, there's a fine line between addressing a weakness and shining a super spotlight on an area where you're insecure. So how do you tackle this question without coming off as weak or fake? Number one, pick a weakness that you've been working on. Recruiters have heard it all before. If you claim that your weakness is something that purposely positions you in a positive light, recruiters see right through that. That can sound like I'm a perfectionist and I struggle to let something just be done, or I'm a people pleaser and I struggle to say no, or I'm a workaholic and I have no personal life. You haven't really answered this question and the recruiter will feel a huge eye roll coming on. In fact, recruiters don't want you to be perfect as they tend to see that as arrogant. With a recent study showing that 53% of hiring managers claim that arrogance will cost you the job. Choose one aspect of yourself that you have found to actually be a challenge. Dig deep and don't make something up. From there, identify a moment in time you remember this weakness coming into play in your work. For example, let's say you struggle with public speaking and that really impacted your ability to give presentations at work. Number two, tell the interviewer how this challenge has happened for you and how it's looked for you in the past. From there, speak openly and honestly with the hiring manager about what this weakness or challenge has looked like and how it showed up in the workplace. You could say something like, a while back, I used to completely buckle and get really nervous when I had client presentations. Public speaking just wasn't my thing. Number three, after that, talk about what you did to work on the problem. Once you paint a brief picture of your challenge, it's time to show them that you're someone who takes action and grows in the face of challenges. In the case of our example with public speaking, you could say something like, I knew this wasn't going to work for my career long term, and since then I signed up for a public speaking class. Number four, show your interviewer that you're making incredible progress or that you're being acknowledged for your impact in that area. It's one thing to talk about a problem you have and claim that you're working on it. It's a whole other thing to show your interviewer that the people around you have been positively impacted by the results you're getting from your growth. In the case of our example, this could sound like showing the interviewer that people have noticed how you've really turned this around in some way, even if it's still an edge for you. You could say something like, well, I still feel nervous before a presentation. I'm really proud to say that my colleagues have told me that now I'm one of the better presenters on the team and I'm now constantly nominated to give our client presentations. Let's be real here. The hiring manager is asking you this question because they know that no one is perfect. And as I always say on my podcast and in my book and to my students, the best job doesn't usually go to the best candidate. It goes to the best job seeker, and the best job seeker is simply the best communicator. The workforce is unique because it's so incredibly, amazingly diverse. But by asking this question, companies learn whether you have a growth mindset. Not to mention that by answering this question well, you're displaying that you're quick on your feet and graceful under pressure. Who knows? If answered authentically and mindfully, this question could definitely be the one that gets you your dream job. And with that said, I hope you comment below on how you answered this question. I'd love to edit some of the comments. Click subscribe, and I can't wait to see you next week.